So, so would you, for example, make a life choice? So for example, make a career choice because of your stuttering or cluttering. I mean, would you let it, impact you?
Actually, for me, I think that impacted me very much when I was growing up, let's
Mm-hmm.
say my 18 to 20 something,
Mm-hmm.
because, for instance, I sing and I have two albums, actually. Not many people know that,
Two
but
albums?
I have two albums.
What do you mean? Do you mean singing albums? You mean, or what do you mean? Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
cool. I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
as a singer, and for me, I had a lot of conflict when I was singing because at 18, for instance, my song started being played in the radio, and I started being invited for interviews, and for me, that was like a disaster.
Oh, you're
I
kidding.
would always panic. I would always block a lot during my interviews to a point that I felt like I couldn't get one sentence that would make sense.
Oh,
And
wow. Yeah.
then and then you feel so humiliated and you feel absolutely defeated. You feel defeated, you know?
Yeah. 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 Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you
Oh, it's terrible.
start to wonder, like, should I follow this career? Because how am I going to make it? Like, I want to sing, but I don't want to speak. And you can't. Like, it's pretty much one thing is connected to the other. You have to feel
Mm.
comfortable to talk in public. Even when you are presenting, performing, you still are expected to say a few words to the public before you start, in the middle of the
Mm.
or and I
Mm.
had a lot of internal conflict with myself because of that. Because
Okay.
I felt that, like, I felt angry because I felt like it's not fair. Why was I given this talent if I feel uncomfortable? Like, if I'm not gonna be able
Mm.
to make it, as a living. And then I
Mm-hmm.
felt frustrated and sad because I wanted to be able to feel comfortable with my, like, speech, but I didn't. And it was so difficult, so difficult, so difficult, because I just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
As if you are giving, like, a big present and you can make full use of it
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
reasons. That's how it felt back then. So I think, in a way, that was not the only reason why music kind of didn't continue to be a career for me, and I end up doing other things, because also leaving Brazil when I was 20 completely changed everything for me.
Oh, you
uh,
really? Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
completely.
leaving. Sorry, leaving Bristol. Yeah. Sure. I can imagine that. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
going out
Yeah.
of it for me
Yeah.
changed a lot of things in my life in terms of a career.
Mm. Yeah.
Yes, I love doing Christian music, and there's no market in Christian music much in Europe as in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, many things changed for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely it impacted the way I lived my dream of being a singer-songwriter as a career,
Yeah. Yeah.
and how I dealt with this kind of situations of interviews and prospects of life in the future. And honestly speaking, I don't still feel comfortable to speak in public, depending on the situation. I still don't.
Okay.
I feel like, oh my
Okay.
God, if I can delegate that to someone else.
Hey, you will do that. And so, so for example, if you would have the choice or the chance, perhaps now I mean, now in your life, to do it over again, so to become a singer-songwriter again, would you do it now, for example, or?
I think if I had the chance, yes, I would do it. I would do
Mm,
it. But I don't. But I think it's still, of course, nowadays I am more mature. I am in my 30s, so I'm much
mm,
mature about it. I have
mm,
accepted much more my
mm,
stuff, but it still would be challenging because, of course, I still would prefer not having it, being able to
yeah.
really talk. Because sometimes I know what I want to say, and sometimes I feel that because I am blocking a lot, I'm not making sense. My
Mm.
tendency is to rush my sentences just to end my agony. You know what I mean?
Sounds like coloring a bit to me, but sorry, no, but I can imagine that, of course, yeah. And so just interested, so you're just wondering, so how does the stuttering impact you now? Because to be honest, I don't hear you stutter at all, basically, right now, at least.
For some reason, I'm not stuttering now. Besides a very
Mhm.
few times that I had a few pauses, but that was like minimal.
Yeah.
But I think it depends. Sometimes I have my blocks. I think especially if I am put in a situation where there is more people and the whole attention is on me, or I feel less comfortable for whatever reason.
So yeah, okay. So your work, for example, does have. I mean, that does impact you on your work at your work. I mean,
it doesn't impact me at my work, but for instance, my boss, she asked me, "Do you feel comfortable briefing like in a meeting?" We
yeah.
have a briefing every Friday, and I was like,
Okay.
well, because I am assuming that everyone would be looking at me like, she can do it. Imagine you're in a meeting with like the Secretary General of NATO in the room. You can't. You really have to boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
So I feel like a little bit the level of seriousness, the seriousness of also importance would pick out and block much more. So I would feel comfortable, and I think people wouldn't feel comfortable with me blocking. I also think that this journey of acceptance, it's a long time, it's a long life kind of thing. You know, it's not something I think that we just come to terms and that's it, and you never look back. And you
No,
I think,
exactly.
to be honest, if we could choose, we would choose to be as fluent as possible, be able to talk and have control over the flow of our like speech. And we try our best to deal with our speech impediment in the best way possible. But of course, it's still challenging at the end of the day, not to be able to make your sentence in the way that you want, in the way that you have in your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Not really understood in the way that you would like. So it's still very, very challenging.
Yeah. I can really imagine that. And, you know, so for example, when you're, I mean, do you also speak French because you're living in Brussels? Do you speak French? Okay, un petit peu. Okay. You know, so then, I mean, do you have, you know, any issues in French, for example, when you talk this petit peu French, or?
I think I stutter in every language, but in some languages more. In English, I stutter less.
Ah, okay. Oh, that's. Oh, you know, that's funny because I stutter more in English. I've noticed. Yeah.
You speak Dutch, English, and which other language do you speak?
Well, also French a bit, also a bit French, and also a bit German, by the way. But you know, those are really, you know, like basic stuff. You know, of course. Yeah. Well, you know, I can speak French. You know, I'm honestly, you know, quite okay. You know, but yeah, you know, and then for example, I need to think about, you know, the right words, of course, in French much more than in Dutch or in English, and then, you know, I need more time, so then I'm going to talk more fluent. So that's the whole, yeah, that's you know, that's the other way around, basically. Yeah.
That's interesting. Now, for me, I stutter more in Italian and less in English.
Oh, so okay, so you speak Italian.
Yes.
Ah, wow. And I mean, are you fluent in Italian, or? Okay, wow. So yeah.
Well, the mysteries of languages, the mystery of speech disorders, there are so many mysteries, that there are so many nuances to it that we don't fully yet understand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is a pity, of course, but yeah, anyway.